Hi guys, this is Jess, and this is the All Signs. What would they tell you if they could? Now, for all of you, this is going to be different, and you need to take this with a grain of salt. It's for entertainment purposes, guys. But I was curious to see what messages would come up for your sign if a person was brave enough, if they had you, if they could speak to you one last time. This is for anyone. It's not a specific person. It could be intimate love. It could be friendship. It could be family. It could be anyone, guys. But I'm going to give you guys these messages. Again, thank you in advance for anyone who is going to timestamp the description bar below. So let's get into it. Now, Aries. Well, it looks like your person needs your blessing to move on. I think for some of you, this is some type of soul tie bond. And it's almost like they need you to disconnect from them so that they can move on. You know how sometimes relationships or connections are so strong that consciously or even subconsciously, spiritually, you're still tied to one another? I think your person feels extremely spiritually tied to you, and they need you to break that tie. Because if you're angry, then they may still be feeling the effects of your emotions toward them, which disrupts and disturbs their day to day life or how they interact with other people, or them being able to see people for who they are without that attachment that still longs and yearns for you. There's someone who's yearning for you, who longs for you, who goes through spells, ups and downs of they've disconnected, they're fine, and then you come back up again. So they feel like it is going to be really up to you to move on, to release, to let go, so that they can finally move on for themselves. So that's what I have for you, Aries. Let me know in the comment section below who you might think this is, if you like to share, or if this would even resonate for you at all. Now, let's go to Taurus. Taurus. Well, someone feels like you remind them of their mother or father. And this is not a good energy, although it can be for some of you, but this is for those of you who can treat someone with demands, commands. You're putting regulations on them, restrictions, curfew, and this person isn't used to it. They almost feels like it's like a parent-child relationship, even though you're both supposed to be equals. Now, doesn't matter if you're a little older, they're younger. This is someone who knows that the relationship that you have together should be an equal footing one. But at times it seems that you take on the role of mentor, teacher, parent, adult, and it kind of turns them off a bit. This is for those of you I'm reading that for. Now, they do love you. I do see that. But I also feel that they want you to know, and I think that they may feel a little bit apprehensive, almost to some extent, a tiny bit intimidated, not to want to disconnect or turn you off because perhaps they're not knowing exactly the right words to express their feelings for you. And they may even feel like you will see them as being immature, or you will challenge their feelings. So they want you to know that ease up a little bit, just enjoy, relax. You don't have to control and micromanage every single thing. Let's just be. How about that? Let's just be. And I feel if you were to make the shift, for those of you that may admit this and say, yeah, my hands up, I'm that Taurus. Yeah, just ease up a little bit. They would love you for it. They would love the relationship for it. And I think you're going to give them an opportunity to prove to you they're not as immature or as helpless as you think. Okay? So that's the message for Taurus. And I would love to hear from any of you Tauruses that can relate to that aspect. Now on to Gemini. Gemini, someone is scared, so scared to love you, so scared to open up to you, so scared that perhaps what they feel, you don't feel the same way, that you'll change on them, you'll turn on them. This is someone who has had love pain in the past, betrayal. They could be someone who's been easily affected by love disappointments. I feel for some of you, and this doesn't have to just be an intimate love, but it is someone who is very guarded, and they may look at you and perceive one aspect of you, and when you change or you flip on them, that makes them very nervous, very scared. And of course, this sounds like something that this person needs to work through on their own. But do know they are wanting to love you. I think that you're so different than what they've ever been used to. And you certainly challenge them to get outside of their fear box. And that's the biggest issue here, right? That you've come into their life by no accident. It was divine that you're in their life to help them feel very uncomfortable. I think at times the way that you communicate with them is so blunt, it's so real, it's so different, it's so otherworldly that it literally makes them frozen, stiff, don't know how to receive it, don't know how to act. They want to love you, they're scared. They're scared of what it might mean if they open up just a bit. They're scared that you could possibly love them too, and they would be forced to feel all the feelings and to take leaps that their heart has been locked away from. I told you guys have a very karmic year this year, and it looks like someone definitely is growing because you're in their life, or at least they're not growing if they're trying to avoid you in their life. The only caveat here, Gemini, if you know that, because one thing about you guys, you're very clever. So you can pick up on the smallest nuance about a person. I would say be careful, especially if you're dealing with someone who's very quiet and quite meek. It doesn't matter if they're an alpha female or alpha male, but there's some aspects of them that it's very meek and shy. That's the part that you're triggering. That's the part that you are there to help them challenge and grow out of. But they do need a sense of diplomacy and some tact and a little bit of care. But yeah, if you know who I'm talking about, they love you or they want to, just really scared. So that's what I have for Gemini. Now, let's look at Cancer. Well, this is for you Cancers out there who has had a past person, whether it be family, friend, whomever in the past, that you may not be on good terms with right now. They're praying one day that you'll come back to them. This is someone who truly loves you, and this is not just about you intimate relationship Cancers, your ex or something like that. This could be a friend, a mother, father, anyone, even a coworker. But this is someone who you've touched, and I don't think you really understand. See, here's the thing that this person feels like. You are great at picking up on emotional neediness, right? Just when a person needs that hug, they need the pat on the back. They need just a grip of the arm, right? That touch, that hug, that warmth that comes so aching to Cancers that they may feel like you interpret them to be have it all together. They're tough, they're rough. They don't need any of that from you, but they've longed for it forever. They've always wondered why you didn't give it to them and why you don't see how special you truly are to them. They can't stop thinking of you, and I mean in the best way possible. This person looks at photos and they remember the times, and they really feel just for the betterment of the soul connection that you've had with them. Listen to me, I'll say that again. For the betterment of the soul connection that you had with this person, and you still have with them in their mind. This is a spiritual connection that they have with you, that they long for the day and they pray the day that you'll come back to them. They may feel that it's impossible to do that at this time, and they want it to be authentic. They don't want no phoniness. They don't want you to open your arms only to close them after the first conversation. They want it to be real. They want it to be true. And they do long for the day that it will once again be them and you. So you have someone out there, Cancer, who prays deeply for your return and longs to love you. Again, interesting. So let me know if you can relate to that, if you'd like to share. Now let's get on to Leo. So Leo, you know they wanted to marry you, right? You know they want to marry you. Someone wants to marry you, whether you know it or not. They're serious. They want this. This isn't a fly-by-night situation. some of you may be getting, going back to that 3 month look ahead, some of you may be getting an ultimatum. I want to marry you. It's like, it's either I just want to marry you or I want to marry you. It's a demand, a command. Shout out to the Taurus if you're dealing with a Taurus. But for some of you, this is an ultimatum or this is a secret that they've been keeping. They want to marry you. They want to be with you always and forever. I feel for some of you, even if this is, now for you, obviously, this is love related. And even if this is an ex, I think you have an ex who possibly wants to marry some of you, okay? And this is someone who has made this decision long ago. And they may feel like one day they will have an opportunity. And if you ever become single again in life, you'll know who I'm speaking of. If you are in a relationship, but if you ever become single and they know about it, they'll be on you. They're not going to let the opportunity pass them by. No matter if they're the most meek person, they're going to be very aggressive. This is someone who has held this feeling for you for the longest time. This could be a friend. This could be someone you grew up with. Not only is this someone who, for some of you, may know 100%, I want to marry you, and you know the clock is ticking, what are you going to do? And someone who may have said that in the wee hours of the morning, whispering it in your ear, how much they want to be devoted to you. But this is also, I'm picking up, for those of you who have no clue that someone wants to marry you, take your name, give you theirs, and be there with you forever. And they've held this secret for so very long. So there is someone out there that wants their forever with you, Leo. Question is, do you know who the person is? And if you'd like to share, leave a comment in the comment section below. Now on to Virgo. For Virgo through Pisces, check out part 2 of this video down in the description box below. Take care, guys.